Okay, great.
We are we live? Are we ready? Are we waiting another minute to get a few more attendees into the
Yeah,
webinar?
we probably let some folks file in for a little
Yeah.
bit.
Welcome everybody. Happy Thursday, I think it is.
You don't know what day it is on.
I'm pretty sure it's Thursday, but it's okay. It's 8 days a week right now, right? So the Beatles knew what they were talking about when they put that song out. It's a little different context, but we're excited to meet with everybody today and share this I think really important topic and conversation and get into some details. But we'll give it another minute and we'll get started. We are recording this today, this presentation. So I don't know if you can see the people jumping in, Kevin.
Um,
Yeah, we
I
have a few people in. Maybe just wait until 11:02 and then we can start it. I feel it's
Yeah, let's give it another minute. Just let me know, Isabella, when you want to get started. And Kevin, you can go back to the front slide. Yeah.
okay.
We all know how time is. I'm a furiously on time early guy, and that's a hard thing to do in today's world.
I
Yeah,
think
I was gonna say we had a lot of good interest, right, Isabel, on this. So there are quite a few people that are attending. But I think we should go ahead and get started, guys.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
let's
yeah,
do that. So, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Cut and Dry presentation on how top brands control their product data. I know you can read that. We're going to be introducing the Cut and Dry Manufacturer Portal, and we're going to get into some details. It's a very exciting moment for food service. Um, I want to make sure that you know that if you have questions along the way, at the bottom of the screen, there should be a box a square box inside. It says Q&A box. Please put your questions in there. We'll do our very best to get to them when we get towards the end of the presentation. Um, so let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, Kevin, and with you today from Cut and Dry is Kevin Wu. He is one of the co-founders, a 20 plus year member of the Cut and Dry team, one of the co-founders, three co-founders, and part of the brain trust that literally brought Cisco into the digital age, built Cisco Digital Labs and Cisco Shop, and and is head of our product. So he's going to be giving you the actual demo today. And I'm Hans Schatz, and I've been with Cut and Dry just over a year. 40 plus year veteran of the food service industry, starting off in operations, 30 years in distribution, 8 years in manufacturing as the CEO, and then now the last 4 or 5 years in the tech side. So between the two of us, we got a lot covered in this industry, and we're going to go ahead and get into more of our conversation. So the agenda today is, as you can see, we got four key bullet points we're going to go through, then a fifth that's a discussion point. But when you look at this, the digital shelf reality, what buyers see today inside Cut and Dry Manufacturing Portal, turning demand and data into demand, and that's really the bow on this conversation. There's a build up to it, but when you start it, and I'm going to discuss the first bullet, Kevin's going to take you through bullets 2, 3, and 4, and then at the end we'll open it up for discussion. But when you think about food service, orders, products, data, how that all surfaces for the operator, gone are the days of food service hieroglyphics. I mean, the 2PK, BLFY, 2 hashtag 10. You got to know hieroglyphics to know what that is. And today's buyer, they don't buy that way. They buy off a phone, they look at digital, they look at pictures, they can source information and data. And that's where we're coming. Product clarity and product enrichment really has taken the stage. And if you're not at that state level, you're missing out. IFTA and IFMA both came out with separate reports. So somewhere between 60 and 70% our operators are placing their orders with their distributors online, digital or via a desktop or a laptop. Think about that for a moment. That is a huge shift in purchasing behavior. Then that question is, how do you have to surface when it's a digital environment? And hieroglyphics isn't the answer. The game has changed. Go ahead, Kevin, to the next slide. When you look at the enterprise, a little bit about Cut+Dry. So we're one of the nation's largest e-commerce platforms. We build just this amazing Amazon type user experience for distributors. So their operators can come in and place their orders. They can see what they're ordering. They can look into product detail. They can pay their invoices. Then we partner with manufacturers. They come in and they surface banner ads and information, communication right to the operator, right at point of purchase. And you can see our enterprise is vastly growing. We grow about 25% quarter over quarter. We've got over 200 distributors on contract. That gives us roughly 200,000 operators, mostly independents, because we deal with the independent type distributor, like number 5 or 6 and down. And inside of that today, we're touching about $25 billion in food service product sales that are flowing through our platform. We can see it. So we see a lot of activity taking place. And then we just recently announced a partnership with Unipro to become their product information management partner for their 450 plus distributors and their almost 500 member manufacturer group. All kinds of stuff going on at Cut+Dry. And this is why, and then we have really strategic partnerships. I won't read all these to you, but you can see them. But industry allied partners, some of our select distributors, you can see their logos. And then we do integrations with ERP companies, which is the underpinning that drives all of this, that we go in and integrate with, that give those distributors customers that Amazon type shopping experience. So that's Cut+Dry kind of in a really quick introduction if you're not super familiar with us. And all of this conversation is leading to something that's very, very important. How does your products look in a digital age out there in the digital market, in the digital world? Does it look like this? We call this a ghost product. There's not really a picture. There's very limited information. Operators are going in and making decisions now. They're using their phones or their laptops or desktops. And they're now accustomed to seeing a product like they would do if they were shopping for headphones on Amazon. But in food service, we're a little bit behind. Cut+Dry is going to show you today, we've got a solution for that for you I will say it's simple because we've created a simple process. But when you look at ghost items, you got catalogs are incomplete. Well, that makes it really hard to make an informed purchasing decision. You got inconsistent data formats. So how on earth does an operator figure out what to do through this digital format and again, make informed good decisions for what they need for their operation, especially if they need a little bit more information that's just beyond the title of the product. And then it's a complete train wreck trying to get this data cleansed and getting it right for this environment. And when you get it right for this environment, our data has shown it's driving a 2-3x sales volume because people shop with their eyes. Our customers, through our distributors, are looking at images now, and they got some where they have images in great detail, some where they don't. Guess where they're lending? They're lending into those products. That's talk to them. They give them that story, the picture, multiple pictures, and top-off attributes, and nutritionals, and recipes, and all those really important things that operators need really, really fast. Can't get it from the DSR fast, can't get it from a broker fast. They're not going to go into your website. They want it right then and there. And if they have it at their fingertips, magic happens. So that's the table. My job was to set the table today. And Kevin's going to take you on a live demo. And again, keep in mind, if you have questions throughout this, put them in that box. We're going to do our best to get to them as we go through the back end of the demo.
Okay, great setup, Hans. So let me go ahead and dive right into the product demo, guys. So I'm going to take you guys on a little bit of a journey because Hans covered that, the Cut+Dry platform really touches the operator, the distributor, and also you guys, the manufacturer too. So what I'm going to do today is show you guys that all parts of the platform. I'm going to start off with how operators actually purchase your products in a distributor e-com environment. So Buy-Right's broadliner in Northern California, like servicing the San Francisco region, they're gracious enough to let us be able to demonstrate like what their production environment actually looks like for an operator purchasing from them. So what that experience looks like is, a core order guide that these operators are starting off with. These items are, organized and customized to, however these operators want to actually list these products inside this order guide experience. But these are items that they're purchasing on a daily, weekly basis. They can reference par amounts, last order amounts to be able to reference, when they actually purchased this item. And the buying experience is as simple as them just putting in different quantities for these items to actually compose a cart. If their order guides are really big, guess what they're doing? They're probably searching inside their order guide. So if they're searching for, say, a mayo SKU, they can do that search, bring up the mayo, search result inside their order guide to actually purchase it. But we're doing things like actually surfacing, relevant, results from the catalog as well. So Cut+Dry is really helping both the distributor and manufacturer actually surface relevant items that the customers are searching for to really, help that relevant discovery experience. And so that they're not just limited to items inside their order guide, that this is really a seamless experience that will surface items that you're looking for in different places. And will help you increase your, operator basket sizes, and just increase their awareness for your catalog, right? So it's all speaking to what Hans was saying, like all of these buyers are used to personal shopping experiences where they're buying from Amazon. And so we're bringing those types of modern experiences to food service too. Operators can also tab over to the catalog. And when they do that, it's a different type of experience that they're seeing that's more heavily visual. And in this catalog experience, Buy has the opportunity to even promote, curate type of promotions, featured lists that they're surfacing. I think they've done a good job here of packaging Lunar New Year, St. Patrick's Day type promotions that they're broadcasting out to their base. But you can see other sort of things that Cut+Dry is doing. Cut+Dry is surfacing relevant suggestions to these operators, even based on restaurant menu that we're scraping for these particular operators. So this is a pizza restaurant where we know their menu and we're actually matching that against Buy catalog and actually surfacing relevant suggestions for them, even on the home screen here in this catalog. So operators can actually go and search for goods as they click through the different categories here. But they're likely using search. And so this is why it's so important for us to be collaborating with you is if someone's searching for Hunt's ketchup in the Buy catalog, they're able to pull up all the different search results here. You can see we'll get into this, different ways that you can promote your items even through cashback campaigns that you can activate with Cut+Dry. And a customer can actually hop into your product details page. So from here, they're able to see multiple photos. They'll see any type of promotions against this item that are surfaced here. They can see extended descriptions, download spec sheets, dive into the different sections here where nutritional information is made available to the operator, different weights and dimensions, specifications, handling instructions. So there's a lot of depth to this data to just ensure that the operator is getting the right information they need to actually make this purchasing decision, right? And it doesn't stop there. There's, similar items that we're surfacing here against this item, more items for this particular brand as well. And even brand profile information. So if I'm, loyal to the Hunt's brand, for instance, and I wanted to actually see more products from Hunt's, I could dive into even a brand profile page where you guys are able to actually surface product brand videos, through this type of really rich experience, brand profile photos, recipes, and we'll aggregate all the Hunt's products on this page for the operator to be able to purchase from, whether it's just adding directly to cart or hitting these heart icons to add these items to order guides for later. So that's really the core experience is that they get an order guide experience and they get a catalog shopping experience. And you can see, that there's search bars everywhere for them to be able to discover items. And that's when it's really important for you guys to give us, as much product data as possible so that you can increase your chances of your products getting discovered through search or through catalog filtering that we enable in these e-commerce experiences. So Buy-Right's done a really good job here. Their catalog looks great, and it's not just because it's it's taken a lot of hard work for them to actually collaborate with their manufacturers to actually bring data into this experience. And that's what I'm going to show you guys is that, Janet Byright has collaborated with her vendors to be able to send them invites to their free cut and dry manufacturer portals to start actually filling out data for their products so they're better represented in this e-com environment. So I'm going to switch gears and actually show you what that looks like from your standpoint. I'm actually inside the Cut and Dry Manufacturer Portal now. And I know a lot of you guys that are in this webinar actually have probably clicked into your portal before, have seen it. And there's some of you that this is the first time that you're actually seeing this demo. So to get you kind of oriented, these are all of the products that Cut and Dry knows about from your catalog. How we get access to these products, there's a few different ways. The primary way is that we do ERP integrations with these distributor ERP systems to sync in your products here. We have like AI type of classifications tool where we'll classify your products into our proprietary taxonomy. And then we'll do some type of automated mapping as well of your products to the distributor products as well. And I'll show you what I mean by that. And so your products are piped in. And so when you come into your portals, you'll probably see a lot of your products, but you're not going to probably see all of them. And so, the first recommendation I have is when you're inside your portal, for you to do your best job to tell us what all your products are. And there are different ways for you to do that. If you hit this Add Products button from your portal, you can see the different methods on how you can actually tell us about all your products. And it's what Hans said. We partner with over 200 different distributors that are using our econ platform, and then your product data, if you were to add it here, would be accessible by all 450 of those Unipro members as well. And so it's in your best interest to add all of your publicly available product information for all of those distributors to leverage easily through our platform, right? Because why wouldn't you want to give them all this data to make your products actually surface in their environments, right? So you can connect through GDSN, and for this particular manufacturer, they've actually given us their GLN number so that they can start publishing, data directly into Cut and Dry through GDSN. There are ways for you guys to actually even just upload files if that's how your product data is coming to you from. That's the easiest way to get Cut and Dry product information. We'll support any files that you can upload, spec sheets. And then if you're a small manufacturer with not too many products, you can even add products manually as well. And then we even give you capabilities where there's a claims environment. So if I click claim, this essentially surfaces all the products that we are syncing through distributor ERP integrations. And it gives you, a way for you to come in and help us where you can come into a particular product and actually match this particular distributor product against your product in your master catalog to link them together. Once they're linked together, all of a sudden this distributor starts to be able to leverage, all of the master product data that you've inputted against the product here. So there are, any number of ways for you to give us all of your products. And then after that, once your products are all situated here, you can start to see the initial scores that we've given your products in terms of completeness rating. You're going to want to prioritize the items that have, lower scores. And you can click into the items to actually see kind of, what their product details page looks like to an operator. And then click into the edit product pane to actually start editing product details. So from here, you can click into these different, sections. We're recommending different fields that you should fill out. Inside these sections, you can even see, that we've classified, this particular product into, a very specific L4 category, which is tabletop ketchup. And because we've classified this product into tabletop ketchup, there are very specific top-off attributes for that category that will surface for this product for you to fill out. So it gets even granular to primary pepper varietal if this is a spicy ketchup, and you could actually pick the different pepper flavor for this particular. So it's in your best interest to come in here and fill out as many attributes as possible because the operators, when they're actually searching for your products, they're putting in these different attribute values, right? And we're using them to actually, boost your search scores to be able to, have your products be, relevantly, surfaced to the customers when they're actually looking for them, right? So that's probably the first thing that you guys are doing is making sure that all of your products are here and then all of them are to the highest, completeness ratings possible. You'll also see there's a section where distributors, when they're inviting you to the platform, they're essentially sending you like personal requests. So if I view these requests, this is just kind of a fake request that we have in here from a fake distributor, but you can see that there's a queue of tasks from different distributors that will want you to accomplish. When you click in to view the task, you'll see that this distributor sells, 17 of your products and they need your help actually mapping, their products to your actual manufacturer SKU to be able to have them start leveraging data for this particular product, right? And so you'll want to come into these different tasks to come here and help them map items and help them get their attribute scores up. And you want to do that as fast as possible because when they send you these invites, it's top of mind for them to actually, get the best available product information to make their catalogs look better, right? And so you'll do that. You'll come in. You'll try to get your completeness scores up. You'll entertain these distributor requests to be able to prioritize kind of which items you want to enrich first. And then additionally, if you look at all our settings, there are different ways for you to start enriching your brand content as well. You guys saw the brand profile page inside the operator buying experience and the fact that you guys can come in here and actually, edit any type of the brand profile information, descriptions, uploading any type of profile videos that you have, any type of product media, recipes, are all available in here for you guys to control and for the distributors to leverage immediately. So we're giving you, ultimately control of your product data that all of these distributors would be able to leverage. And as you guys are making edits to this data is not static on the distributor end. Your edits are being, leveraged real time. And that's really important, right? This isn't like a process where you are editing data and waiting for that distributor then to somehow process it and make it available. Like as you're editing the data, it's all connected to these distributor e-commerce environments and they're able to leverage it immediately. So a super, super important point. You can also click into your distributors tab to see all the distributors that are carrying your products to get a view of how, how you're doing in terms of, those tasks that you're working on them for, right? So yeah, a lot of, great detail inside this portal to get just, have better control of your product data and your brand data. So once you've got all your products in here and we've classified them and we've mapped them against all the distributor SKUs, guess what? We get to start surfacing really cool market share data for you. This market share data is not available in our free product. The free product is what I just covered with you guys, which is, just being able to update, all of your product data and have distributors leverage it. But once you become paying manufacturer customers, you start unlocking market share data in different ways to actually influence purchasing decisions that, where you can build different ad campaigns as well. So once you become a paying customer, you get to you start to access like this influence part of the portal where you can start to see market share data. And so for this particular manufacturer, we're seeing that there's over $50 million in annualized sales on that Cut+Dry has awareness of. And you can see, it's broken out by their brands. So I can click into each one of these brands to even see granular level detail on market share for each one of the products as well. We even have, different, capabilities to like suggest different like cashback amounts that we would want you guys to turn on in cashback campaigns, but I'll get to that later. I wanted to really focus in on one of these items to actually start showing how granular the market share data gets. So for this particular marinara sauce, I can click in and actually see that I've got, for this particular product, almost 8% market share, across all of the marinara sauce items that Cut+Dry knows about. And you can see we kind of blurred out like the identifying product information for products that you guys don't own. But you can get a sense for even other products that you're selling in the same category and where they rank. And so the reason we're surfacing this information is we're giving you that baseline for where you stand now, but you can start to actually activate those types of promotional ad campaigns that boost the visibility of your products inside those buying experiences, right? So if we go back into that buy right buying experience that the operator sees, you were saying that, operators can actually see cash back against certain items to actually surface them better. You can see different opportunities where if somebody's, I don't know, searching for a particular SKU, like we're actually even boosting the position of items based on sponsored search ads that you guys can participate in. So we are leveraging a platform called Carrot Ads that Instacart actually powers to be able to serve these ads. So you have the capabilities to actually make these purchases, and it's an auction-based system to actually surface these ads based on search terms. So when you start to activate these different types of campaigns to boost visibility of products, you're certainly driving more sales for your products. And we're giving you data around those campaigns as well. So you will see inside your campaigns page the ability for you to track. If you're, say, doing a cashback campaign and you're spending as little as $5,000, you're seeing how much sales you're driving from it. You're seeing an acquired list of operators as well, and how much sales, or how many purchases they've made during the campaign after being acquired through this campaign. So there's a lot of good data here, even as granular as identifying operator information here for you to know who's actually purchasing and who's been influenced by this campaign, right? We get down to a product level detail too to see how the different products are doing within these campaigns and how many operators are actually purchasing and the quantity sold as well. So we're just scratching the surface, guys. The value proposition is that we give you the capabilities to be able to enrich your product data, control how your products are represented in these e-com experiences, and then later on show you your reach and show you how you can increase your market share through different marketing campaigns. So again, all this is evolving. We really want you guys to be our partners and really give us feedback as you're going through this journey with us so that we can further evolve these tools, give you more control, give you the data that you guys need to collaborate with your distributors to drive more sales, to drive more case sales, right? That's the end game here. So sorry, I was talking really fast because I wanted to make sure that I demonstrated the full capabilities of our platform. So just to summarize, we went through the operator buying experience. We talked about how the distributors enable that operating buying experience through ERP integrations and surface products into your manufacturer portal here. And then we talked about how you guys can actually start editing product data through GDSM feeds, through manual data editing through this portal, and then ultimately get market share data on your products and start activating cashback campaigns, activating sponsored ad type placements. And then later on, we're doing some more things around display ads that will allow you guys to actually start purchasing as well.
Kevin, while you take a breath, I might add that that's fantastic, by the way.
Yeah.
That really what our goal is to create this enterprise, this platform where all three key members of the supply chain win. That's the manufacturers, that's his audience, that's our distributors, they're the last mile, and that's the operators. And as we work to let technology elevate, we flatten the supply chain and allow trade to happen faster, more efficiently, with more legitimacy. And technology has made that possible. And your ability now to have access to our supplier portal to go in and get rid of all that ghost, all that data that's just nothing, and make it robust is going to drive your operator engagements. It's going to drive your case sales. It's going to drive your market share, and it's going to create a more satisfied distributor partner. But the gold for everybody is the operator, right? So they're going to look back into the supply chain and buy more. And I have to throw out some fun catchphrases from today. Master product data. You heard Kevin talk about that. That's getting all that information correct that you have access to, the top offs and everything. Completeness scores. We tell you how your product looks inside of our system, and the GDS1 feeds what may get you to 50%-ish or so, but we really want to boost that higher so that our customers, the operators buying on our platform, see you in the absolute best light. The product detail page is what the operator can see when they click on an item. That gives them all that, and then there they see your hero shot. So you want a really awesome picture of your product, right? That's the hero shot, you know that. And there's the romance copy, and hey, that beautiful picture, this is what it is, and you want to tell that story. And boy, it's so lacking when that's missing, and it's so dynamic when it's there. Then the top off attributes, you heard us talk about that. and then all run through the cut and dry proprietary system, taxonomy system called Rosetta. And that's part of our superpower. That's part of our intellectual property that gives us the ability to do this that nobody else in the industry has. And then the moving into the influence program that gives that product detailed dashboard and that marketing data, and then the ability to do banner ads and financial incentives communicating directly to the operator at point of purchase. Everybody, that's a game changer. That's what we're offering through Cut and Dry. And I just wanted to put a bow on everything. Kevin is so incredibly good at this. I just want to put a bow on that for you as we come to the conclusion of this presentation.
Thanks, Hans. Thanks for summarizing all that. I think, yeah, you really hit on the key points there. And I wanted to follow up with, next steps on how you guys can get started. A lot of you have already gotten started and are inside your manufacturer portals. So I encourage you guys to go back, engage more. We're evolving that platform. And you can sign in with your email address at manufacturer.cutanddry.com. We have a QR code that we have here. I think we forgot to mention that we're recording the session as well. So we'll be sharing the recording of this session so you can pass it around to your team members too. And inside your portals, there's ability for you guys to invite other team members to your portal. So you can access your settings and your team settings to be able to invite whoever you want to actually collaborate with you inside your portal. So keep that in mind too. But you can sign in with your email address. If we haven't actually created a portal for you, you can fill out some additional information, and it's really fast for us to spin up that portal and for us to then send you back a notification to get you started. So, but I think most folks already like have portals in our system, and again, if we don't, then you just fill out a little bit of more information, and it takes only a business day for us to turn around that portal and get you guys started. And then additionally, once you guys are inside your portal, I'll remind you, you want to connect your GDSM feeds, but that's only the starting point, right? That will only get you to a certain completeness rating for your products. And GDSM feeds are good ways to really pipe in all of your food service products into the portal as a starting point. But then afterwards, you can start using our editing capabilities to top off the attributes or even just collaborate with us. Feel free to reach out to us. There is an email address that we have. Let me see. That email address.
The last slide, Kevin.
Okay. I was like, where is it? Thank you, Isabella.
There we go.
That email address. Oh, geez, sorry. I'm getting click happy here. Is manufacturer-partners@cutanddry.com. If you guys need to reach out, need support, have started engaging your portals, have a lot of questions, we're happy to do sessions where we can guide you through best practices and even troubleshoot any issues that you guys are having. So please reach out to us through that way, and then start engaging in your portals, through manufacturer@cutanddry.com. Like I said, most of you guys should already have accounts, but if you have any issues, go ahead and email us, and we'll engage with you immediately to get you guys started. So
Questions?
yeah, that's what I wanted to cover. I don't know if
Yeah.
Isabella, if folks have actually started to stick in questions
Yes, we have a few questions. So the first
Okay.
one we can start is how do I get to my brand page? If you can show in the portal, how can they edit the information and
Yeah.
preview that page? That'll be
Yeah,
great.
for sure. Yeah, so let me dive back into the manufacturer portal. From here, guys, you have your settings. So I mentioned one thing is like the team settings, where you can come in and invite other team members. That's important. And then brands. So from brands here, you guys have the ability to actually add different brands and add profile information. Like some of the feedback that we get from a lot of the manufacturers is that the products that are included inside their portal sometimes aren't relevant. Maybe they're for a different part of their company that is not food service. And so in those instances, what we would ask you guys to do is actually to come in and actually just make sure that all the brands that are represented in this list are your food service brands, right? That you want all your products, inside your products page represented for these brands, right? And so to come in here, you have the ability to actually click into each one of them to actually start editing that brand profile information. So the photo that you saw, the video that you could upload is, they're all fields for you to actually start dropping in this content to fill up those brand profile pages. We're doing something too where we're going to start to bring in the metrics for how many folks are actually viewing the brand profile pages, along with bringing in kind of conversion data for you to understand whether purchases are happening from these brand storefronts as well. So yeah, we give you a lot of controls here to add the different content here and to actually preview what that content looks like by hitting this preview brand page.
Kevin, the person who sent this question is saying that they don't see the settings tab on the left-hand side. Do you know why, or is best for us to follow up and check with him?
Yeah, yeah. So like right after this, Isabella, why don't we follow up? And I think that there are different roles in the team settings. So if you come into team, like it's perhaps that, the different people that have been invited maybe are, a certain basic viewer role that doesn't give them permissions to those settings. And so I think we need admins within these environments to come in here and be able to set the right roles to give them access to actually being able to edit those brands. So I think that's the answer there, and we can follow up that with that particular user to help
Perfect.
them out after this.
Awesome. So another question that we have is that if all the product data will go to all of our distributors without any action.
That's not exactly true. So I would say that like when we have this product information, a really important part of it is actually helping us map, right? We have some automated sort of mapping that's happening through AI to match your products with distributor SKUs, but we could use your help on this as well. So for instance, if I'm searching for, I don't know, like a marinara product inside here and I click into the product, inside the product detail pages, guys, if you're scrolling down to the very bottom, you can even see all of the different distributor SKUs that we've mapped this item to. And there are cases where we've done, our best job to match up your items, but I say we need your help. Like, and so these different cases, like part of like enriching the content is actually coming into the edit product interface. And the very bottom of this like edit product interface, there's like a SKU management section that helps us actually be able to map the SKUs for this product. So let me go ahead and like access that. And then there's also what I talked about was the claims process, to be able to actually claim and like link products together that way as well. But I think the easiest interface would be like, yeah, again, I'm going to search for that product, be able to hop into that particular edit pane. And from there, I'll actually pull up the SKU management section at the very bottom that allows me to start inputting SKUs for, all the known, distributors. So in this case, like I don't have, affiliated food SKU or Aloha produce SKU for this particular item. If you guys have those mappings, put in the distributor SKUs here for those products to be mapped. When those products are mapped, that's when the distributors start leveraging the data. And then that's when we actually start having market share data for your products as well, right? So, again, we do our best to automatically map, and we even have a human, team doing QA and like mapping these items across distributor catalogs. But we need your help as well to actually QA this and, just confirm that we've got all the accurate mappings here.
Awesome. Then another question that we have here is that they are only seeing the catalog tab. They don't have the claim or distributors tab. And also, if you can expand a little bit on what is the showcase.
Yeah, yeah. So from here, we if you don't have access to the distributors or the claim type tabs, I think it's another permission setting that we have to look at. So Isabella, we have the name of that user that we can follow up with, right? But I would say like, if you guys don't have, issues with your, small team getting access to this full portal to be able to edit brands and content details, then I would set your users as admin role users. So they have access to everything from here. So that's my recommendation if you're not really super sensitive about like everybody on your team actually being able to fully leverage like all the capabilities of this portal, go into settings, go into team and set your team members as admin role users. In terms of the showcase, I don't know what context we're talking about in terms of the showcase, but we use that term in different ways. So Showcase is another term for what is our like universal catalog that will surface the distributors when they're trying to match their items against manufacturer products. And so distributors will have a different interface. Well, they'll see like, they'll get access to our, our publicly available like non-proprietary like product database, meaning like we're not going to show proprietary items or like those, you know, um, uh, uh, products inside our public database for those distributors to leverage. But we'll even have an interface on their side where they can access a showcase to be able to link their products against products inside our universal catalog to be able to start leveraging data as well. So it's kind of the reverse of what I just showed. We give you the capability to map products, and we give distributors the capability to suggest mappings as well. So that's the concept of the showcase.
Awesome. So another question here, if there is a way to edit multiple items with the same specs at the same time. So for example, if you have a product with different sizes that have the same shelf life, can you group them and do the edit all at once?
Yeah, I would say that like right now there isn't like a bulk editing capability, although that is on our backlog, guys. And so like naturally, like how we would actually like evolve this capability is to be able to actually select particular products that you would want to do that bulk editing for. And so we are working on that so that, if you wanted to, yeah, like you said, like the example was actually setting the same size for particular products at the same time. We already have that user kind of like front end capability to select multiple products. And so we just need to introduce that capability to then say, I want to edit the same field across those products. And so I'll check in with my product team to just understand where that is in our backlog. But we will work on, making that possible for you guys. If like you guys are even struggling with this like manual editing, process where you don't want to click into like 100 different items to make that same edit, I ask that you guys email us and we can support like ways for you to even like upload, different spreadsheets for us to use to be able to bulk edit as well. There are also these filtering capabilities. And so if you're editing, products, for a particular brand, and for particular distributor partners, you can do those filters to bring up those products. And then, you have a better sort of a cleaner view of the products that you're editing so that you're not having to comb through this like whole, this big list of products when you're doing bulk editing. So yeah, that type of feedback is the feedback that I would love for you guys to start sending us through that email address. And so that will help us really prioritize how we can evolve this thing to make it easier for you to use.
I think we got quite a few questions to get through here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes. Okay, so the next one is how can I get the manufacturer data for the products that I sell? And kind of like on the same lines is that if only some manufacturers have their data in Cut and Dry, how can they see the information for the other products?
So how does the manufacturers actually get the products? Is that the question? Or sorry, get
Yeah,
their product
yeah,
information?
the first one, how can I get manufacturer data for the products that I sell? I assume this one is
Oh,
either
from a
someone,
distributor.
yeah,
Okay. Okay,
for a
sorry.
distributor, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was getting a little bit confused. So on the distributor and the distributors have a distributor portal where they get access to an environment where they have their own product editor. They can actually see all of their product information coming into their portal, and they have a whole interface that allows them to actually invite their manufacturers to collaborate with them. And so that is all available through the distributor portal catalog section. From there, you can see a tab that says suppliers. You can click into that suppliers tab to begin like seeing all the products that each one of the suppliers um, and then be able to actually invite and personalize invites to contacts at those suppliers to begin collaborating. When you send those invites, they will come in the form of these distributor requests. So the manufacturers will then see that a particular distributor wants help with actually enriching, these 17 items that they're actually selling. So that's how the distributors will actually engage with manufacturers inside the distributor portal is through the catalog suppliers page. Um, The distributors, get to see all the, the data that's coming in for their products. And maybe let me, while I'm talking, I can kind of bring up, that interface that I'm speaking to so that the manufacturers can actually see, what the distributor editing environment looks like too. I'm going to use the buy right portal for this. So you guys get to see their catalog view. And then I can also show you the showcase, use case that you guys were talking about and how they can actually, do the mapping themselves for their items. And so for buy right, they would see, a catalog section here, and this is the suppliers tab that I was speaking to. They see all their suppliers here, and they have the capability to go ahead and invite these suppliers to start collaborating on the catalog, right? From the catalog section, for all of these products, you can see when I click into a product, Buyrite has the capability to actually, make some overrides to any type of the product content that's already being piped in for this particular product. They have an interface too where they can actually link this particular product to a manufacturer product. And so this is where we're actually utilizing the showcases. If they're essentially trying to find a product to actually link this product to from this showcase interface. So this is kind of the reverse mapping situation that I was talking about.
It's amazing.
Kevin, another question that we got here is that if a distributor invites a manufacturer, could the manufacturer have a limited version of Cut and Dry, or would they have the full version of the portal?
They will have the full version of the portal. We do have some validation that we're doing as well because we've had instances where distributors are maybe inviting the wrong contacts that aren't exactly, part of the manufacturers. And so there's some validation that we're doing to just make sure that the contacts that they're inviting in actually are people that work for that manufacturer. We've had some instances where people are inviting, I don't know, like packers or like, dot or resellers into these manufacturer portals, and we don't necessarily want that to happen. Those aren't the right owners for product content. And so there is that validation process, but they will have full access to the portal. In cases where you guys are seeing limited access, please just go into the settings. And I'm hearing maybe this might be a pain point, and or maybe the default kind of roles. There is an issue with like inviting and maybe folks not inviting people as admin users. And so I'll go back to my team and just figure out if people are actually getting invited with limited access, but I actually don't think that's the case. Yeah.
Oh, and then another one here is that this manufacturer has a lot of items that are in the system that they claimed, but they don't no longer use. The products are inactive, but they still show up in the products page. If they delete the item, the action cannot be undone, right? So they are asking if there is a way to separate items that are inactive without deleting them.
Oh, okay. Currently, there's like two ways that we can filter products in here. One is that you can delete them. And guys, I wouldn't worry about them like getting deleted for good, I think. I can check with my team to see if this is more of like an archive state where the item can be brought back. But I would say that's probably your cleanest way to ensure that the item doesn't come back. I know that some of you have had, we've struggled with like a problem where some of you have deleted or filtered out products and they actually come back because there might be new distributors that we're onboarding and those products somehow creep back into your portal. We feel like we've done some additional enhancements in the last month to prevent that scenario from happening, so those products won't creep in. But I'd say the cleanest way is still like deleting the product through this delete interface here. The other way is that we're starting to do something within your brand controls where if there's a whole brand of products that you don't want to see in your portal, probably the best way is to make sure that this brand list is clean and only represents the brands for the products that you want inside your portal. We've seen lots of instances where there are retail products that might come into a portal. And in those cases, it is as simple as deleting the brand so that we're using this as the primary filtering mechanism for your products. I will take that product feedback back to our team for us to maybe have like a way to like section these off into inactives so that you don't lose sight of them and that it's it's a simple filter for you to bring them up as well. So I do think that might be a good suggestion so that you can actually see all the other products that you have filtered out, and if you want to bring them back, you can bring them back.
Awesome. Then we have another question here. I think it's from a distributor as well, but if
Okay.
only some manufacturers have their data in Cut and Dry, how can they see the information for the other products? Will they have to manually upload that information?
Um, so if are you saying that okay, so I think it's the first thing that I talked about, which is that if a manufacturer comes into their portal and they only have a limited view of their products, there's different ways that they can publish products to us, right? One way is they can manually add, they can upload the data, and then they can also publish all of their products through GDSN as well. We sometimes deal with this issue of like manufacturers sometimes just sending us a subset of their products. I think there is really no reason why you guys shouldn't be putting all of your products here for all of these distributors to leverage. This isn't like, this is your like, your publicly available product information that you should, equip all operators with when they're buying, right? And so I think that that's something that I just want to reemphasize. You should be publishing all your products here. There's nothing like nefarious here what we're doing with the data. We're just giving the data directly to the distributors and the operators for them to be able to leverage in their buying experiences, right? And there's no reason why they shouldn't have the best data for your products. So I would say if distributors are struggling with, manufacturers are struggling with all their items being in this portal, again, there are different ways that you can add products through GDSN, through manually adding, through uploading files to us, and collaborating with us to just make sure this is a full picture of all your food service items.
Awesome. And then
Yeah.
the last one here. So if they deal with large distributors like DOT, dot, instead of the manufacturers, how they can get the invite the manufacturers they are not familiar with or have not contacts with?
Yeah. Okay. So that's a good question. So if we're working with distributors to really, help them and facilitate like getting invites to the manufacturers, I think a common problem that the distributors might have is that the person that they work with at the manufacturer might be a broker, a salesperson that isn't necessarily the best person to invite into this portal to start editing product content. I would say that distributors should still invite those folks. Because we have a capability in onboarding when a manufacturer first engages with their portal, where we ask them about their role and we ask them if they're the right person to edit product content. If they aren't, we have this, easy interface for them to invite the right team member to actually start editing product content inside this portal. So first thing I would say is distributors, shouldn't worry about which context they're inviting. They should just use whatever contact they have to invite them inside this portal. And from that experience, that person that gets invited in, should be able to invite, the right people from their team inside this portal. The other thing is if you're not seeing like actual manufacturers, that you can actually invite from your suppliers interface as a distributor, you know, um, we're going to be undergoing, efforts to actually connect with you guys on these, a particular, project for us to really partner with you to actually make sure that you are actually inviting all your suppliers. And we're actually suggesting even validated contacts that you can invite if you don't actually have contacts from the supplier. So in cases where I don't know, you're sourcing a lot of your products through DOT, I think there will be cases where we have, a pre-populated contact that you can invite from that supplier, and we'll help you actually with those campaigns to actually send all those invites, to the suppliers that you might not have direct connections with. This is not something that's available immediately through your supplier's interface right now, but we're working on actually populating, pre-populating contacts into that supplier's interface for you to start inviting. I would say that like, that's a really important initiative for us because I know that it's important to you guys to be able to have the best product content that you guys can leverage. And so, we're going to be, reaching out to you to actually talk about, the highest priority, like, suppliers that you want to work with and make sure that we're inviting them into the portals. Um, so yeah, that is kind of a complicated, problem. I know that happens a lot that you guys are working with resellers. In those cases, the distributors will try to help you with, inviting the right people into their portals.
Great.
Awesome.
Great job. Good
That's
job.
all the questions, Kevin. Thank you. And then there was one last one here, actually, that is if they can have the recording of the session, and the answer is yes, we will send an email tomorrow, probably, with the recording and the presentation and some extra resources as well. But yeah, that's all. I'll let you, Kevin and Hans, do the ending
Thank
notes
you.
if you want.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank
all
you,
for your
Isabella.
time.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was really a real pleasure, and I'd say like let's not, please reach out to us through this like email address if you guys need any help. I know that some of you might, run into the different issues as you're trying to edit product content or upload your products. Like, don't let that be a blocker. Go ahead and reach out. We'll have, humans actually come and call you, and we can give you guys, quick sessions on that, and suggestions and best practices and actually how to use our portal. So we're just getting started too. I would say that like our product is evolving. And so there are probably like manufacturers that we've, had long journeys with where you can remember the portal being something much more basic. And so just know that we are improving this thing and making this experience a lot better for you. So we're really excited to, partner with you more closely, and even to start turning on, market share data for you and give you guys the capabilities to start doing different types of ad campaigns as well. So thanks again for participating. I really appreciate your time. Hans, sorry, I think I interrupted you as well. I don't know if you had any closing remarks here.
Nope, that's awesome. Thank you.
Okay. 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 Thanks so much, everyone. Like we said, we're going to follow up with that, sharing the details of the recording.
Have a good day, everybody.
Okay. Thank you. See you guys. Bye.